I've got up the quiz that Claude made me, because if you've seen the one or you've tried to do the one on whatever it is, the website that I'll link, it's like actually just like sometimes like I relish in being always alone, and like some of the things for the mystic, which is what is my like primary one, it's just like not very real world. I don't know, I guess like they just seem like so extreme, the examples, and you can kind of tell like when you're doing the traditional quiz, like it's like I have motherly tendencies, or you know, it's like, and then you're gonna be the mother, like it's very, I guess, obvious or whatever. And it can be like, I find when a quiz like that is like too obvious, I mean even the kid one I reckon was a bit hard because it's like broad and blunt. I'm like, okay, well I know that's gonna be a natural, and I'm like, I'm trying to work out in my head if I am broad or blunt objectively, but it's hard for me to then know that that's going to mean that I'm a natural, or do you know what I mean, if I think that I'm not a natural. Anyway, so I was telling this to Claude, and I was like, can you like help me figure out a way to analyze this, right? Because I'm struggling at the moment. Like I think I'm all of the types, and I think that is a like true expression, right? To like be all the different feminine archetypes. But I will share this quiz with you guys because I feel like it's quite valuable and useful. And I'll read them out, and maybe I'll share what I said, I guess. Why not? Because I've already done it. I don't know if that's interesting. Okay, so the first question was, you've just been given an unexpected free afternoon with no obligations. What does your body immediately want to do? A, disappear into nature or somewhere solitary, just me and the world. B, call someone I love and make it an experience, good food, good conversation. C, work on something I've been building or planning. I feel best when I'm moving towards a goal. D, sit quietly, read, journal, or let my mind wander somewhere deep. E, create something, cook, paint, write, make. And F, I guess what I'm up to, start something completely new that I've been curious about. I feel like this one was a hard one for me to answer because, and this is where like what my end result was makes a lot of sense, but I do quite like to maybe call someone or work on something new if I'm feeling that energy, or just sit and journal and chill, and like I'd like to do all of those things. But I think I answered like an unexpected free afternoon, no obligations, that I'd like work on something I've been building or planning. Let's try that again. But now after I read about it, like I just like get the afternoon off. I don't know, I'd probably go for a walk or something. People are never really free. Maybe I do call my mum. Maybe that's disappearing into nature. Maybe I'll start with that. Maybe I'll do slightly different answers this time. This is so hard. Anyway, I think I said like work on something new or a project. Okay, 2, a friend comes to you in a crisis, they're falling apart. What's your most instinctive response? Okay, I'm gonna do 1 because that was hard to count to F. 1, I hold them. I want them to feel I'm completely present, that they're not alone. 2, I listen, then gently help them see the bigger picture or what they might be missing. 3, I take charge, let me figure out what needs to happen and make it right. 4, I create a space of warmth and comfort. I'll feed them, wrap them in something cozy, stay close. 5, I feel it deeply with them and somehow that shared feeling seems to help. And 6, I ask them what they actually need. I don't want to assume. So this one I said, I feel it deeply with them and somehow the shared feeling seems to help. I feel like that is quite true. Like, that's what I do. And if they want solutions, then I can help with that. But like, I don't reckon that's usually what people want, or my friends want, when they're coming to me falling apart. They just want a bit of like empathy, I guess. Okay, 3. You walk into a room where you don't know anyone. What happens? 1, I observe for a while, reading the room, noticing the undercurrents. 2, I find the most interesting looking person and make my way to them. 3, I scan who needs something, conversation, rescue from a boring exchange. 4, I feel like an outsider, honestly, and I'm okay with that. 5, I gravitate towards whoever is leading or running things. And 6, I light up. I love the possibility of who I might meet. Mine was definitely 6, lighting up the possibility of who I could meet. I feel very energized when I walk into a room with strangers. It's a very odd feeling, I guess, but it's genuinely what I just like, it just like, anything is possible. I don't really care who I talk to. I'm just excited, you know? Okay, 4, someone challenges your opinion in front of others. What rises in you? Okay. 1, a calm, steely certainty. I know what I know and I'll say it clearly. 2, curiosity. Curiosity, actually, maybe they see something I don't. 3, I should have just stuck to ABCD. 3, a flash of irritation that I have to prove myself again. That one is definitely what I answered. 4, I withdraw slightly, processing. I don't want to react until I'm sure. I wish I was that measured. 5, I want to understand why they feel so strongly. What does this mean to them? And 6, I feel flustered and need time to gather myself. I think there's no way I could stop that flash of irritation arising. And the feeling of having to prove myself. Yeah, I know. Okay, 5, you're asked to describe your relationship with your own body. Which feels most true? 1, my body is a source of pleasure and sensation. I'm deeply in it. 2, my body is a tool. I respect what it can do and push it. 3, my body often feels secondary to my inner life. I live mostly in my mind. D, oh my god, 4. Like, what? These are not numbered, and so I'm just like really trying. My tired brain's not working. 4, I love nourishing my body, feeding it, resting it, and caring for it. 5, my body tells me things my mind misses. I try to listen to it. And 6, honestly, my relationship with my body is still evolving. I think I'm very much like my body tells me things my mind misses. I try to listen to it. I think when I was a bit younger, I used to live more in my mind and ignore any signs and signals in my body. But I feel like that's a big breakthrough for me in the last like 5 years, that like 5 years ago I started doing this and I feel so much better for it, right? Okay. The 6th question that has 6 options. Here we go. All right. Think about what makes you feel most alive. I'm sorry that I'm not really looking at the camera. I'll try and put up thing here so it's a bit better. Okay. What's the honest answer of what makes you feel the most alive? Okay. 1, deep, true connection with another person when you really see each other. Sorry, I just had to burp. 2, achieving something I wish I wasn't sure I could, proving something to myself. This one I kind of felt. Okay. 3, building something that lasts, a family, team, a vision. 4, a moment of clarity or revelation when something suddenly makes sense. 5, watching someone I love thrive because of something I gave or did. And 6, starting fresh, new places, new ideas, new possibilities. This was a hard one because I do feel like a number of these made me feel like are true things that make me feel alive. The ones being that I resonated with, like true connection with another person, achieving something I wasn't sure I could, a moment of clarity or a revelation, and starting fresh. But I ultimately think what makes me feel the most alive is new places, new ideas, new possibilities. And that's where I went with what I went with. Okay, last question. This is a bit faster than the the kid body test, which is better. Maybe I should get it to do a 7-part kid body quiz. Let me know if you want that. Okay. Your shadow, number 7. Your shadow, the part of you that causes problems when you're out of alignment. Which do you recognize most honestly in yourself? This is also hard. Okay. 1, I lose myself in relationships or experiences. I give too much of me away. 2, I shut people out to protect my independence. I can become an island. 3, I can become controlling when I feel things aren't being handled right. 4, I disappear into my inner world and lose touch with the practical. 5, I overgive until I'm resentful and then feel guilty for having needs. I could wait, is there more than 4, 5, 6? Yeah, there's 7 options for this. That's what I was confused. Yeah, okay. 6, I can stay detached, observing life rather than living it. And 7, I avoid commitment or depth. Things feel safer when they stay light. So I think for my shadow self, I mean, a few of these resonated, like shutting people out and staying detached. But I think my main shadow is I disappear into my inner world and I just like, I get a bit lost in that. I don't try to ground myself when I'm out of alignment. I get way too in here. Probably my Gemini moon. Anyway, let's see if I got the same results as last time. Yeah. The exact same. So whatever I answered, I think I might have answered one differently, or maybe I didn't. Actually, I think whatever I did, this time I got the mystic as my main, and then the secondary is the maiden, 3rd huntress, 4th lover, 5th queen, in terms of order, and then I didn't get anything for the mother or the sage. I just don't reckon there was none like options for that, maybe, I don't know. Whereas the last time I did it, I got the queen was stronger than the lover, but the mystic is the most strong. And then I got it to analyze what this means, because they seem kind of like polar opposite. The mystic is you are attuned to what lies beneath the surface, patterns, meanings in the unseen world. Your gifts, deep intuition, pattern recognition, visionary thinking, spiritual depth. And then the other secondary is the maiden, which is you carry wonder, openness, and possibility. You see the world fresh and trust in becoming. Your gifts, optimism, adaptability, authentic joy, and the courage of beginnings. This is so, what I found so interesting is just that like, it's an unusual blend, and it's kind of explains why I struggle to like fit myself into boxes. And almost every quiz that I seem to be doing now of these sorts of things, I am finding that I am like always just in this kind of like in between, and like trying to recognize that that might be more of a skill or like an asset than anything else. I think I've always tried to pick a side, if you know what I mean, or like lean more one way than the other, and not acknowledge that there's this other kind of side of me that's really like pulling the other way, and like to own that in between. And I think what was interesting what they said, which I kind of thought they being Claude was like very tied into, I guess, like this desire and thesis around my notes app and, you know, the content that I'm putting out, is the ability for me to hold attention between or blend between depth and lightness. And I do really think that is like kind of what makes me uniquely me. Like I am very like charming, disarming, like light, can like have a really easy going conversation with anyone. But then I do like, I can go quite deep, and I can talk about very deep things in a very light way that makes it like more accessible and relatable for people, which is part of me, like what, you know, like why I kind of started this channel and things. I wanted to see if there was some other interesting things that he said. Hey, Shay, Claude. To me, Claude is a boy's name, but I'm not sure. No, it's not. Like, I guess because it's got the E, it's almost a full name. But I like Claude, friends that are Claudia, but they're Claude for short, so I don't know. Anyway, but the interesting thing that they were saying was like, you're someone whose genius is in the interpretation layer. you take experience and find what's underneath it, and which is the mystic, but you do it with lightness and openness rather than weight, which is the maiden. So yeah, I think it's sort of like, it's quite interesting, and I found that this was the best diagnosis or analysis that I had done, that's maybe a bit more modern day and personalized, because it's kind of hard when, like, the idea is that we have elements of all of these archetypes, and so when someone says, you know, or asks you to decide which is the thing that makes you most alive, or your worst, like, you know, behavior or trait, you know, and like, it's kind of hard to recognize that because sometimes we don't want to really admit what that might be. But yeah, super interesting. I'm now looking up, like, so fairy is like apparently the archetype of those two, you know, the mystic and maiden combination. And yeah, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna have to start wearing fairy core. I'm keen to kind of try it because I'm just trying to work out how do I stop wearing basic white t-shirts, because I think that's gonna bring me a lot of happiness or just like make getting dressed so much easier. And it's what I've been like kind of buying in, like, accessories and jackets and shoes, and now it's time to get the base better, you know? So yeah, feeling inspired, excited to go back to Sydney and do some more shopping because I haven't been able to do a lot of like in-person proper shopping. Like obviously thrift shopping's good, but sometimes, like, if you have I want a vision of like the blouse, like, you might not find that, you know? Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. You guys have put me in a better mood than when I started. I was literally falling asleep. So if you stayed till the end, I appreciate you. And let me know what results you got in your quiz.